In February, Sam Altman looked straight at the AI water panic and called it, his words, completely untrue, totally insane. On the number everyone was yelling about, he's basically right. One AI reply costs somewhere between 1/3 of a milliliter and about 5, a fraction of a teaspoon. So the viral claim, 17 gallons per question, is nonsense. Case closed. Not quite, because the real story was never about a single query at all. That viral number traces back to a 2023 study that averaged an entire data center campus, cooling, storage, streaming, everything, then divided the total by AI queries alone. Both camps are arguing over milliliters. Behind them, completely unmentioned, an actual number worth worrying about just quietly crossed 10 billion. Google now discloses 10.9 billion gallons used on its data centers in a single year. Amazon reports 2.5 billion, and that is only what 2 companies admit to. Zoom out to North America as a whole, and AI's expansion pushed data center water use to nearly 1 trillion liters in a single year. 1 trillion liters, one region, 1 year, and it is still climbing. Here's why it's climbing so fast. Average server rack power has jumped from 6 kilowatts to 27 in the last 12 months, and individual AI chips now blow past 1,000 watts each. Cool that with ordinary evaporative towers, and you burn through 2 to 5 million gallons of water per megawatt every single year. Walk up to one hyperscale facility, and the math gets stranger still. A single campus can draw up to 5 million gallons in one day. 5 million gallons, one day, one building, enough to supply an entire town of 10 to 50,000 people. There is a real fix underway. Direct-to-chip and immersion cooling need almost none of that water and run far more efficiently than an air-cooled hall ever could. The efficiency gap alone is enormous. Immersion systems run near a perfect 1.0. Old-style air cooling sits up near 1.8. The technology to fix this already exists. The problem is speed. Most of the fleet being built right now still isn't built that way, and the industry is expanding faster than it can retrofit itself. The International Energy Agency doesn't mince words about why. AI, specifically, is now the single biggest driver of data center electricity growth on the planet. Project the current trajectory forward, and by 2030, AI-driven data centers are on pace to consume over 9 trillion liters of water a year. 9.3 trillion liters, enough to cover the basic domestic water needs of over 1 billion people across sub-Saharan Africa for a full year. Water is only half the physical bill. The other half runs on electricity, and that side of the ledger is growing even faster. In 2024, the world's data centers burned through roughly 415 terawatt-hours, about 1.5% of everything the planet uses. By this year, some estimates put that figure past 1,000 terawatt-hours. Treated as a country, data centers would rank 5th in the world for energy use, ahead of Russia. That is not organic growth. It is a 12% compounding climb every year since 2017, over 4 times faster than global electricity demand overall. Last year alone, data center electricity use grew 17%. Facilities built specifically for AI grew 50% in that same 12 months. Here's the crossover nobody scheduled a press release for. By 2027, power drawn by AI-optimized servers overtakes every ordinary server on the planet, combined. 258 terawatt-hours for AI-built hardware, 200 for everything else on Earth. For the first time, the exception becomes the majority. The International Energy Agency's own projection, 945 terawatt-hours by 2030, 1,200 by 2035. Every line on that chart points the same direction. So if one query really is a fraction of a teaspoon, where does all of this actually land? Not on the planet's total, on the town next door. Researchers at UC Riverside and Caltech estimate American water systems will need $10 to $58 billion in new infrastructure by 2030, just to keep pace. In April, the water utility serving Ypsilanti, Michigan, did something almost unheard of. It simply refused to supply a proposed data center, and the project moved to the next town over instead. Chatham County, North Carolina, passed its own moratorium in February, worried a single hyperscale site could overwhelm water and sewer systems sized for a much smaller community. In California's Imperial Valley, the Water Board's own chair has vowed to defend the region's senior water rights against a proposed 950,000 square foot facility. To be fair, the biggest players are racing to offset this, signing solar, wind, and even nuclear power deals by the gigawatt. Whether that catches up to demand is the actual open question. So here's the actual scoreboard. The viral number, fake, Altman's number, technically true, and the number both sides completely ignored, the one that is actually billions of gallons wide. Your one prompt was never the problem. The town a data center just moved into, that is the bill nobody is arguing about yet. Completely untrue, totally insane. About the only thing missing from that sentence is which number he actually meant.